word of the Lord says, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, that word charity is also translated love, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, notice that word. I want y'all to underline that. Though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, have not love, I have nothing. Now, I wanted y'all to underline that piece right there for the simple fact that in Hebrews 11, it said, without faith, it is impossible to please God. But when I go back to this passage, it says you can have all the faith in the world, but if you don't have love, you're coming up short. Amen? So that tells me that love trumps faith. Many of us spend our whole time trying our best to be obedient to the principles and promises of God. Amen? We try to develop our faith. And how do we develop our faith? We try to spend time in the Word, spend time in a place where we can receive divine teaching. Amen? Or anointed teaching, because it's through the Word that we're able to increase in our faith. And so the more Word you have, generally the more faith you should have. Amen? But no matter how much faith you have, if you do not have love, amen, then your faith is void. Amen? When we go to James, in the book of James, go to James real quick. And it's right after the book of Hebrews. James, the 2nd chapter, it says something like this. I'm going to read the 14th verse. It says, what does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has faith and have not works? Can faith save him? Now we see a progression of things. We see in order to have good works, you must have good faith. And in order to have good faith, you must have love. Amen? And so he says, can faith save him? If a brother or a sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto him, depart in peace, and be ye warm and filled, and notwithstanding you give them the things that they need, which are needful for the body, what does it profit? I want y'all to underline that part right there where it says, with things which are needful to the body. I want y'all to underline that. Things which are needful to the body. Today I was doing some reading today, and I was doing some studying, and I ran across this, as I was doing my study, I was looking at organizational citizenship. Amen? And when you're dealing with organizational citizenship, it begins to tap into things that motivate people to do the things that they need to do to make sure that the organization still functions as a body. Amen? And so as I began to look at this thing, I began to look at all the different motivation factors. It began to go and it talked about how some people are motivated by security. They need to feel that they are secure, amen. This is why some people will leave God for a job, amen, because in their mind, this job is security, amen, or in some cases, some women may leave God for a man, because in their mind, that man represents security. Amen. And then oftentimes when people come to the house of God, they come to the house of God most of the time, amen, because not because they just felt good this day, this particular day, but because usually people have gone through some things and they've heard about Jesus, they've heard about all the things that God can do for them, amen, and so they make a conscious decision that I want better for my life, amen, and so they run to the house of God or to the church, or they're looking for security. Now the problem that we find in this is this: when people cannot receive or they do not obtain what they need, then they become disgruntled. For example, if a woman marries a man who she thought was going to take care of her all the days of her life, provide that security, but then at some point in the relationship, he no longer is the provider, then she began to start trying to find ways and look for options